This was initially going to be a video defending Linkin Park's new vocalist from the minority of idiots saying stupid shit like, "There is no Linkin Park without Chester, my childhood is ruined." At this point, all I have to really say to that is, if that's your be-all, end-all issue with Linkin Park's new singer, then the old albums with Chester are still there for you to listen to at any time. It's not like the band is erasing them out of existence or anything like that. Go listen to those albums and shut the fuck up, please. But, unfortunately, there actually are legitimate reasons not to like Linkin Park's new vocalist, or at the very least be weary of her. Emily Armstrong, the new singer, comes from the Church of Scientology. Her parents are members of the church. She was pretty much born into the cult. And if you don't know what Scientology is, a very, very brief rundown is it is essentially a wackadoo scam that teaches the belief that we are the descendants of aliens, we are extraterrestrial beings piloting a human body, and the cult was started by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard because he didn't want to pay taxes. Her other source of controversy is her alleged support of Danny Masterson, an actor best known for That 70s Show, who last year was sentenced to 30 to life in prison for raping at least 2 women. Now, what we do know is she showed up to a pre-arraignment hearing in 2020 to support Masterson, but never showed up to his actual trial. Here is a statement she put out in response to this. "Hi, I'm Emily. I'm new to so many of you, and I wanted to clear the air about something that happened a while back. Several years ago, I was asked to support someone I considered a friend at a court appearance, and went to only one hearing as an observer. Soon after, I realized I shouldn't have, and I always try to see the good in people, and I misjudged him. I have never spoken with him since. Unimaginable details emerged, and he was later found guilty. To say it as clearly as possible, I do not condone the abuse or violence against women, and I empathize with the victims of these crimes." I don't like this statement. First, I don't like the vague language. Not once does she mention Danny Masterson by name. It's almost like she's trying to obfuscate what exactly people take issue with. Who was your friend? What was he found guilty for? The statement just reeks of PR damage control that glosses over the heinous actions of a former associate and those affected by said person's heinous actions, in order to make the subject of the statement look as good as possible instead of an adequate condemnation of what Danny Masterson did. And not even once was there a proper "I'm sorry" towards the victims of this monster who she once supported. Just, "I'm sorry for your plight, I'm sorry for the unspecified crimes you had to go through at the hands of the unspecified friend I supported." Now, I've seen a lot of Linkin Park fans say, what does she owe the internet? She showed up to one pre-arraignment hearing, realized her friend was guilty as sin, and stopped supporting him. And we don't even know her current status in the church, so there's a possibility she's not even a part of the church anymore. Now, I'll grant you this, maybe she isn't a part of the church anymore. The only evidence I've seen floating around of her supposed current standing with the church is a photo of her at a Scientology event that dates back to 2013, 11 years ago. And we will likely not know her current standing with the church, because on one hand, if she still is with the church, and she came out and said, "Yes, I am still a part of the Church of Scientology, I believe in Scientology," that would be PR suicide for both her and the band. And on the other hand, if she did leave the church and publicly denounced it, the church is known for heavy retaliation against ex-members who speak out against it. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, but Chrissy Bixler, one of Danny Masterson's accusers, whose husband is a former member of Scientology, claims that Emily is a quote-unquote hardcore Scientologist. Regardless, with all of this information taken in, do you really blame any Linkin Park fan for feeling disheartened over this new pick? She is filling the role of a man who used his band as a means to express his struggles with mental health issues that allowed millions of people around the world who may struggle with similar issues to resonate with the words being sung, and said mental health issues that Chester Bennington suffered with eventually came to a point where they were so unbearable that he took his own life. And now we have a new vocalist that may very well still subscribe to a belief system that rejects the concept of mental health. Chester was very open about the sexual abuse he was the victim of as a child. Emily may still be part of a church that engages in that same form of abuse and other similar forms of abuse. If you're a Linkin Park fan and you're just happy that the band is back and you like Emily as a vocalist, which, despite all this, I thought she did a great job in the new single and the Chester songs she sung, then great, whatever. Rejoice when the new album comes out in November. I can't police what you listen to, obviously, but don't be so surprised that other Linkin Park Park fans have hang-ups over these very legitimate concerns about Emily. She is going to be singing songs that stand against the values and actions the cult that she may still be a part of, believe, and engage in. Songs that were originally sung by a person who was the victim of a horrendous crime that the cult is known to engage in. And you just have to wonder, if she still is involved in Scientology, what exactly does that say about the other members of the band? Outside of the drummer, of course, I know he left. There is no way they vetted her and wouldn't know this, so if she is still tied to the Church of Scientology and they just looked the other way, I have to say that is an immense slap in the face to Chester, someone whose death no doubt hit the other members hard, someone who no doubt they still hold near and dear, and then they just bring on board a vocalist who may still have ties to a cult that stands against many of the things that he stood for and sang about. What a fantastic reunion. Things are definitely going great. It really couldn't have been anyone else besides her. And this is also immensely disappointing on the front that this is supposed to be both a celebration of the life and legacy of Chester Bennington and also the welcoming of a new era for the band. And yet it's all been mired by controversy and possible ties to a horrendous cult. I guess I'll go pay attention to the Oasis reunion now. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.